彼がヤングを取ったら、議論は終わる。史上最高の選手だ。そう言わせるほど、今の大谷翔平は異次元だ。打って、走って、そして投げて支配する。野球の常識が、また彼に壊されようとしている。
Despite his efforts, the Brewers dropped the game to the Padres 3-1. Also cannot forget about Shohei Ohtani. How about an ERA at .82 after 7 shutout innings against the Giants? Second lowest ERA by a Dodger pitcher through 7 starts, trailing only Fernando Valenzuela's .29 ERA in his 81 Cy Young season. As we bring back Tim. So this NL Cy Young race could be an all-timer. I didn't even bring up Skeens or Christopher Sanchez. What are you looking forward to as the summer heats up?
Well, I've never seen a quarter of the way through the season 6 guys with these Cy Young credentials, all of them in the National League. And Paul Skeens has been ridiculous as usual. He's got his ERA under 2 now, 198. He struck out 40 guys since he last walked anyone. No Pirates ever done that. You talked about Ohtani. He kind of whispered about winning a Cy Young at the beginning of the year. He's certainly on track to do that. Mizorowski has 80 strikeouts. When he faced the Yankees the other day, he did not.
National League was Eric Gagne. You got to go back to 2003. Kevin Nagani back with you on SportsCenter last night. Showtime for Shohei on the bump in L.A. Dodgers star, they threw 7 shutout innings, had 8 strikeouts, 4-0 win. Hey, finally they scored for him. They beat the Giants. They snap a 4-game losing streak. His return to a full-time starter going pretty well as a pitcher, considering he lowered his ERA to .82. The goal is a Cy Young. Dodgers reporter Alden Gonzalez joining us now. Alden, you spoke with Shohei last night following that fantastic performance. What's the Dodgers superstar saying about balancing now hitting as well as pitching this season?
Well, for one, that he's not too old for this. Look, Shohei is attempting a full-time two-way season for the first time in 3 years. He is approaching his 32nd birthday. And given his recent hitting slump and the fact that he's been taking more days off than we're used to, there's been a lot of concern about whether or not this is taking more of a toll on his body now than it has before. But Shohei
Ohtani helping the Dodgers get out of the doldrums of a 4-game losing skid. What did we think yesterday, AJ, of Ohtani's 7 shutout innings and the fact that he continues to keep up as one of the best starters, if not the best starter in the game?
I think it's great. I think he's legit. I mean, I think he wants to win a Cy Young, and I think a lot of his focus has been on that this year. And I think we've talked about it's taken away from his hitting a little bit. Now he's got to have today off, right? Didn't they say they're giving him today off from hitting because he pitched yesterday? So that's going to take a little bit of the focus off his hitting. He's pitching and he wants it Cy Young, and right now he's in line to get it. I still think Paul Skeens is the guy to beat, but we'll see if Ohtani can keep this up for a whole year.
I mean, I feel like somebody that can just turn it on when he's not pitching and hit 55 homers and steal 50 bases. Like he's like, oh, well, that's something that happens. Okay, well, I'll go do that. Oh, Cy Young? I don't have many more years left on this UCL or new cadaver UCL. New cadaver UCL. We don't know what it was, but I get it. My pitching career might be 4 years starting last year, so now I'm in 3 years left, and he's pushing at it. I have zero doubt he can win a Cy Young. Zero doubt. But I also love that Dave Roberts is willing to say you don't have to pitch. I mean, you don't have to hit and pitch right now. We want to keep you healthy. We want to, and I think, because I've seen Dave Roberts say it on multiple occasions that Shohei wants to win a Cy Young, or he thinks Shohei wants to win a Cy Young. They're clearly catering to that. They're clearly saying, we don't need you in the lineup. Even though our team is struggling when you don't hit to score runs, we're going to be fine. If you want to win the Cy Young, great. The ultimate question will be, as the season rolls on, if he continues at this historic pace, which I think he can do, how low does his hitting need to get this year while he's on this historic pace where these 2 days off of hitting are going to maybe stretch out to 3? Or is it going to take away from his MVP type of season if he doesn't get enough hits? That will be the question that will ultimately go side by side with, wow, how can a hitter who has hit 55 home runs in a season before win the Cy Young just 2 years later, 1 year later?
We went over this too on
mentally, and his determination to do whatever he does is probably better than the stuff he brings over. 100 wipeout slider, wipeout split, and also cutters. I think all of those are way above average, but I think his determination and his mindset, the way he sets himself to do things, I think is even better than
That's interesting than the stuff.
than the stuff and the hitting and everything.
0.78 ERA. And he said it, hitting. A couple starts ago, Dave Roberts said, you know what? When you're starting, not just 2 jobs, you're going to have 1 job. And you're just going to pitch. You like that?
I do like it. We get to see his greatness, and we're witnessing greatness every time he steps on the field, whether it's as a pitcher or as a guy in the box. Shohei has done everything in this game. MVPs, got him.
Yep.
World Series championships, got him. What's the one thing he hasn't done? Rookie of the year, got it. Only war you can win once. What's the one thing that he doesn't have? That's a Cy Young. And you can bet.
Just change your voice.
You can see every time he's out there, he's going to prove I'm going to win Cy Young. And when it happens, Pedro, not if, but when it happens, I think the conversation's over. We get to witness the greatest player of all time.
Ooh,
I think we already are witnessing the greatest player of all time.
I mean, remember in Legion Baseball when little Jimmy would try to, hit one out and then pitch 3 innings. He's doing that on the biggest
How'd you know they called
stage.
me Little Jimmy?
Little Jimmy, let me just.
You were 5 years old, Legion Baseball.
Oh, okay.
And one to continue to excel, eventually over time, you start to be better at one than the other. He continues to hit, continues to pitch. His velocity is going up. His stuff is getting better. When he's hitting, he's shown that he can be one of the best hitters of all time. So you combine all 2 of those together, and the fact they're going to give him his legs some rest by not hitting and pitching on the same days. Like, Jimmy, you know how it is. I was always worried. If he gets a triple and then has to come back out there and throw, what's that going to do for him? Now all he has to do is just go ahead and throw and sit back down for a little bit and come back out there. That does a lot for you.
On fair territory, the competition. So right now, and I'm sure we're missing a couple others, but we were just going over Skeens and The Miz. They're going to have the innings pitched advantage. Right now, it's not that large, but it'll get larger as the year continues. That's one component. You know what else is interesting, AJ? If you look at Skeens and Miz right now, they're like one's 50, one's like 51 innings. They're very close, okay? And Skeens will probably surpass him. And Skeens can strike out the world. I think he's figured out how to be as economical as possible so that he can go deep into outings. He wants to go 8 or 9 every time. Miz has 80 Ks in a similar number of innings as Skeens, who has, I think, like 50-ish, right? So
he's right at 1 per. Yep.
Yeah, he's right at 1 per. Voters care about that. Let's not talk about our opinion on it. Voters care, right? We know that. Strikeouts have won Cy Youngs.
I need to see Miz go through a whole year, though. He hasn't made a whole year without getting injured yet. That's the one concern. We've seen Skeens do it twice now. I worry about Miz not making it through a year, and he already had some cramping issues last night. And then the other thing is, I don't think Ohtani's going to have enough innings. I know the innings are down, but they're going to protect this guy like nobody's business. And I just don't know if he's going to get more than 130 to 135 innings. I think they're going to, as long as they're where they want to be in the playoff race, I think they're going to keep him down and go from there. But I mean, I think Skeens is going to continue to run. I mean, he's got a 1.98 ERA. It's like he had 1 bad outing. Other than that, he's been unbelievably good. He had 1 bad outing. Other than that, he's been unbelievably good.
And I do want to just, prevent the trolls. Miz last year came up, in like May or whatever it was.
Right before the All-Star game? Yes.
Yeah, right before the All-Star game, so it was June, whatever it was. So this is his first full season. What AJ means is, he came up, last year at 24 years old. He's had some injuries in the minors. They really kind of slow played it with him in general. There were control issues. So that's what he means is, can he put a full season together now that he's got one, or are they going to thrive?
He got injured. He missed time on the injury. Remember, he hurt himself last year. And again, he started cramping last night, right? I mean, cramping, although it was kind of funny how they were laughing about it. Although, he went out there and then I don't know. But it was funny how Pat Murphy and him were joking about it.
If you watch the video, you can actually see it when he throws the pitch and he smiles and he turns around and you can see his quad is like, yerk. His pants are tight enough that you can see his quad. But there's so many things that for me, first of all, who do you guys think right now is the Cy Young? Who would win the Cy Young if it ended today?
Fantastic performance. What's the Dodgers superstar saying about balancing now hitting as well as pitching this season?
Well, for one, that he's not too old for this. Look, Shohei is attempting a full-time two-way season for the first time in 3 years. He is approaching his 32nd birthday. And given his recent hitting slump and the fact that he's been taking more days off than we're used to, there's been a lot of concern about whether or not this is taking more of a toll on his body now than it has before. But Shohei dismissed that last night. He sort of smiled at the question. He said, "I feel good. I'm still young. I'm still at my peak." He indicated that any hitting struggles are more related to mechanics than they are fatigue. But look, Shohei Ohtani was not in the lineup for his start day again on Wednesday. He is also not in the lineup today. The Dodgers initially planned it this way because he was struggling so much in May that they felt like he could benefit from back-to-back days off. And they stuck to this plan even though he seemingly broke out of his slump with a 3-hit game on Tuesday. And the reason for that is very simple, because the Dodgers' #1 priority is preserving Shohei Ohtani's body for this two-way season, which takes a lot out of it.
Yeah, mentally as well. Tuesday.
Back out there, that does a lot for you.
See, that would be the only concern I would have about Shohei probably pursuing a Cy Young, is the wear and tear that his body is going to take. Because I know what it takes to be out there every 5 days and take 30 outings, 33 outings.
What does it take, Pedro? In between the starts, take me through the day after you pitch, then the day after. What are you doing?
He does have a special routine that he does, and it's unique only to Shohei Ohtani's body. Like what I had to do was a lot of work, a lot of leg work, a lot of abs, and I was just pitching. And it took so much from me to actually finish the season and finish it healthy so that we could go into the postseason and then add whatever we needed to add to end up winning. But for Shohei Ohtani, the only thing that I feel like it will be in between his Cy Young will be, running every day, having to do so much to actually keep his body healthy. That's the only thing. But his mindset is ready to go get a Cy Young. His mindset is ready to go get whatever he says he's going to get in baseball. And it's starting to get boring for Shohei Ohtani. That's why he's probably not going to hit anymore. He's tired of doing that.
He's tired.
Now
I've already mastered it.
He's going to go for the Cy Young, and the next time he wins the Cy Young, which I think he would if he stays healthy, I think he's going to go for 50 or maybe 40 games closed. That would
He's going to be a closer after that.
He's going to be a closer after that and then do everything that nobody has done ever in baseball.
Like I say, he's going to be the greatest of all time. It's not going to be a discussion. When his career is all said and done, look, we could talk about guys that were the greatest hitters, guys that were the greatest pitchers. We're talking about the greatest of all time because he does both. He can beat you with his legs. He's proven that. He can beat you with the bat. He's proven that. And he's proven, once again, that when he's on a bump, he can beat you with his arm. I'm just saying, throw it out there. You heard it today.
Heard it today.
Shohei's going to be the greatest of all time.
Ooh. Wow. Okay, you want to see what he did last time out. It was against the Marlins, 9 strikeouts. And you have to, Jimmy, you're going to say sit fastball. And you have to, Jimmy, you're going to say sit fastball. And Curtis, you're going to say sit fastball. But he can beat you in so many ways. You have to cover 97. You have to cover 74. How do you do that?
Nothing is straight. Everything is moving. Look at the graphics here. It's going left. It's going right. There's even rise and there's sink. Plus, he's changing speeds. When you can throw it up there close to 100.
Look at this.
And then pull back all the way down to 70. We were talking about it beforehand. How do you gear up for that? And he does an amazing job of making everything look the same. And there's so many different pitches in an 0-0 count, in a 3-2 count, and everywhere in the middle. It's hard to get comfortable against him.
And the beauty of Shohei Ohtani is that his concentration level is like off the charts. Because sometimes you face pitchers and you probably think, well, he's going to lose it somewhere. He's going to become erratic or lose his composure on the mound. No.
That was
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen with Shohei. And I think he's stronger, like I said before, mentally, and his determination is at a level that none of us can probably understand or explain.
You can.
Well, I've done it, but only in one area of the game. But this guy's being able.
I don't know if it ended today.
Ohtani.
AJ?
I would say Ohtani at the moment, but we have
Okay.
4 more months to go.
So then what AJ brought up, the innings. Where is that innings limit? The most recent, everybody's going to go back to, I went back to before, Corbin Burns. What is that innings limit if Ohtani continues to be as dominant? If he has a historic season, 100, he's got like a 1.2 ERA. What are his inning limit where if he doesn't reach 140, nobody can even consider him? Where's that at?
Yeah. But he's going to reach that, right? Because he's already in the low 40s. So even if they scale it back a little bit, right? Because he's on pace for like 170. That's not going to get to 170. But is he going to? I think that he can get to 140, 150. That's probably the max there. But that plays to what you're talking about with Burns. Burns was at 160 something. Zach Wheeler was almost 50 innings above him, and Burns won. So to answer your question, yeah, if Ohtani's rocking a 1.2 ERA and Skeen stays on his career pace of like 1.98, I think that Ohtani's going to win it, with the innings pitch differential. But
I'll say Ohtani doesn't get above 150. What did Burns have? What did Burns have the year?
160 something.
I don't think if Ohtani doesn't get to 150, I don't know that he's going to win. I don't know that voters will give him enough credit. That's the one worry I have.
大谷翔平はまた野球の限界を塗り替えようとしています。この際、ヤング賞レース、あなたは大谷が勝つと思いますか？コメントで教えてください。面白かったら高評価、シェア、そしてチャンネル登録も忘れずに、次の伝説も一緒に見届けましょう。